look from the 60s to the late 90s, I mean, majority of the returns came from a handful of businesses. American Express in the 60s, and then See's Candies, Coca-Cola, American Express again. And primarily, the reason being that he had a very concentrated bet. American Express was some 30-40%, and Coke was, I think, over 20% of the capital. And Geico also was a pretty significant bet. So when he made these investments, they were out of favor, and he had a differentiated view. And the differentiated view came from he doing scuttlebutt on these companies that gave him these kind of differentiated point of view. He wrote the security I like the best, and American Express, he went around and did all the scuttlebutt. So my point being is, from those lessons, seems like concentration and scuttlebutt, if I am going to be a stock picker, are important. What are lessons from there that we can do today apply if I am in active investing, picking stocks, and if concentrated is the way to go? The counter, just to complete the sentence, is the counter being lots of hedge funds thought that they had a differentiated point of view, and they were all in Valiant, and it was a concentrated bet. It could always go the other way and kill decades of compounding.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that question, right? So Sequoia funds, right, taken down effectively, reputation was dismantled by Valiant, was created because Buffett's partnership closed, right? The investors who wanted to maintain their exposure to the equity market, even though Buffett was recommending that they didn't do that, he gave them the option. Bill Ron was there, started Sequoia for the partnership, right? So that people who wanted to stay in could, right? Basically following this same strategy, which is sort of like it's like an Icarus strategy, right? I mean, you're flying awful close to the sun. It improves the returns. Your question sort of framed it very well. Part of the reason for the success was he was concentrated in the right stuff, right? Part of the reason for the downfall of the Sequoia funds was that they were concentrated in the wrong stuff, right? So, it works really well as long as you don't make a mistake, I guess is the point. So the degree to which you have the confidence in what you're doing should determine the degree of concentration that you're willing to accept. Because if it goes wrong, it's going to go horribly wrong. If you're concentrated and it's recoverable.
Jeremy, when I was asking you, alluding to the same issue earlier, you mentioned a brilliant Ben Graham quote about Warren Buffett.
Oh, right. Yeah. So Graham was asked about what Buffett had become in terms of his quality compounder strategy. And he said, I can understand why you're doing it, but it's harder. Right? So I think that's for everybody to decide on their own whether, they find it to be in their nature to be more like Buffett of 25, 26, 27 years old, or more like, Buffett at age 40 or age 84 like he is today.
Thank you so much once again for being with us here today. This was amazing. Thank you.